right, everybody. Welcome live. It's live in the 315 with Dom and Curb. I know the time zone is a little time is a little different. We're usually doing this at 8:30 at night, but we did it at 3:30 to comprehend for Jeremiah, our special guest, his schedule, and plus Kirby has a schedule as well that he has to get on a flight tonight. So we try to get him on here so we can ask him some questions. He's from Jordan, New York. We're very excited to have him on here with us. He's going to tell you guys not only his story, but of how he worked very hard to get to where he is in college basketball. Obviously, it looks like he's the starter there. So he probably worked day in and day out to make sure that he is in his position he is in right now for college basketball with Oswego State. So everybody, can you guys give a warm 315 welcome to Jeremiah Sparks? Thank you for coming on the show, my guy, and thank you for, taking it out of your busy day. I know you probably got a lot of things going on with classes and basketball. So
yeah, it is finals week, so I do got a lot of papers and tests and stuff, but I'm fine.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so we're gonna jump right into it, so we can get you back into so you can get back into studying and everything, and so Kirby can get on his way also for his flight. So again, we're here to talk about your high school. Obviously, we're going to talk about straight from high school straight to Oswego because you're a junior in college right now, right?
Yes, I'm a junior, eligibility-wise, senior academically.
Okay, nice. So you got one more year basically to play basketball.
Yep.
All right, nice. So we're just going to start off with it. How was did you grow up in Jordan, New York your whole life? Or are you from Syracuse? Are you from a different part of New York?
Yeah, so I'm actually from Syracuse. Moved to Jordan Elbridge in about second grade.
Nice.
Then was in Jordan Elbridge from second to eighth. Then I ended up going to Liverpool for a little bit. Ended up going to North Carolina for a little bit, and eventually all to come back and be in Jordan Elbridge to finish my 11th and 12th grade years.
So was that all that moving? Like, did that mess you up a little bit, or was that like pretty easy transition from one school to another, especially a different state as well?
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really I didn't think about it much. I had people supporting me. Still was playing sports, making friends. So just living life and just at a new spot, honestly.
Did you play like any like as a kid, did you play like any Pop Warner or any like little basketball leagues that were in those areas that you were in? Obviously you were changing up, but did you get to play like Pop Warner basketball in those areas?
Yeah, so most of my childhood was in Jordan Elbridge. I got to play youth football for Jordan Elbridge. I got to play CCYO for Jordan Elbridge. So I'd say my childhood is mainly a Jordan Elbridge kid.
Okay, nice. Do you got like a big family? Do you live with like mom? Did you live with like mom and dad? Do you have like how many siblings do you have? Or is it just you?
I mean, yeah. So I bounced around a little bit from here to there, and stayed with a couple friends, and yeah, they just helped me make it work. And I know my parents were around. My dad was in Syracuse. He helped me out a little bit. My mom was also in Syracuse at the time. So like I had family around. I just kind of jumped from house to house in Jordan Elbridge.
Oh, nice. So is that like your friends, or were they family in Jordan Elbridge, or?
I call them family friends. They took me in like I was their own. So
yeah, it's always good to have a second family pretty much that you can call your own family away from your own family. Going into it, another question is like, did you get your athletic ability from your mom or dad or both, or you think you got it from someone else in the family?
Oh no, I guess I could give it to my dad. When I was younger, he used to dunk a lot, and he actually used to jump over me in a motor. I was sitting on a motorcycle and he dunked it one time over me. So after that, I was like, yo, he might be something. So
I'll get similar to a Kia with Blake Griffin, huh?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, especially when I was younger. It was like, he might be real.
And you're like, wow, let's do it. You could do this. Like, what's you could do it.
Now talking about you got your abilities from your dad and he jumped over you dunking, over a motorcycle. When was the first time you ever beat him one-on-one, or have you ever beat him? I'm assuming you did, but like,
I mean, so when I was younger, I mean, he used to force me to my right hand, so it was kind of hard to play against him. But I mean, I really never played him one-on-one. Like when I got older, he kind of got hurt, and just never got the chance. So maybe when he gets healthy, I'll take him on.
Yeah.
Did you, so with that, like around those ages, like when did you like fall in love with basketball? Like, was basketball the first sport you fell in love with, or was it like football, or was it like basketball that, go to?
No, so actually my first sport was probably soccer. I used to play soccer in the summers. It was really fun. My grandpa used to coach me, and he was a really good coach, taught me to be a team player. And I think soccer was really my first love. And then eventually I switched over to basketball.
Okay.
Now, it's kind of good, though, that because in soccer, you got to have the really good footwork. Did that footwork transition to, like, the basketball? Because basketball, you got to – everyone thinks it's just the, the mechanics of shooting and stuff, but you got to have the footwork, too. Like, did that help out a lot from soccer to basketball?
Yeah, for sure. Because I would go from soccer to football, so my footwork would be pretty good. And then from basketball, I kind of just kept it going. So just playing every day and just doing stuff just helps.
Yeah, and speaking of, like, basically, you're saying your dad, dunked over you, and obviously you fell in love with basketball. With that, when did you start dunking? Like, what age were you when you started being able to, like, get up there and start dunking the ball?
So my first dunk was actually my junior year of high school. It took me a little while. Might have been a little late bloomer, but yeah. So it took me till junior year to dunk.
Okay, so about junior year. So with that, I also see, like, you played a couple other sports, through high school. Obviously, the main sports were obviously basketball. It looks like you played a little bit of football, football as well. You also played, I saw your senior year only, you played lacrosse. So it looked like you were kind of like a triathlete in that time span in your year as well also. So, like, with that, was it like, you didn't play soccer? Was like something you did, football something you fell in love with later on in high school, or did you already like the sport, or you just like were like, oh, I just want to play?
Yeah, so in middle school it was modified. I had the decision to play football or soccer, and I guess most of my friends played football. I played football growing up. It's a hard choice, but I chose football, and that's about it, really.
So I'm looking at your stats from football, and you actually, like, did really well. Like, you were scoring, you were an athlete. Like, you did very well. You had for passing, you actually had a couple attempts in passing. You had a lot of attempts, obviously, in rushing. You were over 1,000 yards your senior year. So did you, like, focus a lot on football and basketball, or were you just like, yo, I'm an athlete and I can just do this?
Yeah, I'm mainly just an athlete, just going about the seasons. It was football season at the time, so my main focus is football, being the best player I can be on the football field, and trying to help my team win.
So also with that, like, lacrosse, like, where does that come from? Like, did you just, like, want to play it, or you just wanted to give it a shot? Like,
yeah, so my junior year I played football and basketball, and then I ended up doing track.
Okay.
During my junior year, and that was to help with AAU and stuff, and I could, like, be able to fluctuate practices and stuff and still go to AAU. But my senior year, I wasn't playing AAU as much, and I just wanted to try something different. Had a couple friends that played, and the coach really wanted me to try out, and honestly, it was a fun experience. I'm glad I played.
Yeah, you had 12 goals and 5 assists. That's, like, really good for someone who just was like, I want to try something new, like, and that's like where the athlete obviously comes into you. You're like, all right, listen, if anyone could do this, I could do this type thing,
No,
So,
it was definitely harder than I thought, because it takes so much stick skills. Like, you gotta play that. You gotta have it in your hand for, like, years on years to be a really good lacrosse player. So I was just glad I got the chance to play.
Was there some people that, like, been playing for a long time and then you just pick it up out of natural, and, like, were they a little salty or a little upset that you, like, picked it up that quick? Like,
yeah, they definitely were, but at the end of the day, everybody was a friend to me, and I think everybody just wanted the team to do best, and however that was, I played my role and they played their role, and it's a fun year.
Did you have, like, that one friend that you stuck with, like, throughout of all high school, that was like your sidekick, or not even your sidekick, but the person you knew, like, you could go to, like, your best friend, someone that probably played basketball, football, and lacrosse with you, or just played basketball and football with you?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely do have a friend. I've shot him out, named Melfi. That's my guy. So yeah, we grew up together playing CCYO, playing youth, modified football, varsity football, basketball. So we definitely spent a lot of time together.
And do you guys, like, still chat it up now? Does he still, like, come watch you play? You guys are
for sure. Yeah, for sure. I see him often when I go home. even now he comes up here and just hangs out a little bit. So yeah, it's definitely my day one.
Yeah, that's good. That's always good to have a friend like that, and it's always it's good to see those friendships that still last, and someone that's just not there for now and always there for the always there through the whole journey with you. That's always a good thing. That's why we like to ask the questions and all that.
No, for sure. I'm definitely glad I got to shout him out.
Yeah, no, and that's awesome. If there's anyone else you want to shout out, you're more than welcome to, obviously. And then with that being said, you played all these different sports. I see that you wore a lot of different numbers as well. You wore I think it was number 1 and 32 in high school.
Yep.
And then now you're number 23 in college.
Yeah.
So what made you fluctuate from those numbers? Obviously, everyone likes to wear the number 1, but what made you fluctuate from number 1 to 32 to 23? Is there a reason, or is a favorite number?
I mean, for football, I just wore 1. It looked good. Honestly, that's what I was thinking. My favorite number for football is actually 21. Big Reggie Bush, LaDainian Tomlinson fans.
Nice.
Yeah. So so number 1's not really. I don't really have a reasoning for it. I just did it at the time, and then I stuck with it my senior year. 32. My high school coach's favorite player was Magic Johnson, and I just thought that it looked good and chose that number and stuck with it.
Yeah, and that's why I was wondering, because I know that obviously it looks like it switched up a little bit, and with you just saying that with your coach and everything like that, was your coach the one that you looked up to the most for basketball? Did you go to him the most for stuff like that when you had a question or anything like that, or is it do you have a different coach that showed you more, or who was somebody that was there? What coach did you think that gave you the most?
No, for sure. James Best, my high school coach, Jordan Obridge, he definitely pushed me to be the player I am today. He helped me on and off the court, being a good student. I can actually tell a funny story. So in 8th grade, I was supposed to play. I was supposed to move up and try out for JV and varsity, but I wasn't a good kid in 8th grade. So he actually held me down, and that kind of humbled me. And I had to wait and be patient, but definitely got up. I eventually got up there, and he helped me a lot. So definitely shout out to him.
That's good. You said you dunked your first time in junior year. When was the first year you did make varsity? When was that moment that you knew that you were good enough to be varsity, and then you did make it?
I mean, it was kind of crazy for me because I was actually playing in North Carolina at the time. I played on the JV freshman team in North Carolina. And then my sophomore year, I didn't actually get to play. So I played on a little bit of JV, and then I ended up moving back. So, I mean, I just moved back, knew I was an upperclassman. I grew, I gained some talent from North Carolina. The game's different down there. So I just knew I could affect the game differently from when I was in 8th grade from 11th grade. So just took the opportunity and ran with it.
Yeah, and so with your junior year, obviously you grew from that. I'm looking at it, your stats went way higher in your senior year. Obviously, were you starting more your your senior year, or did you start more did you start in your junior year, or did you start more in your varsity year? I mean,
yeah, so I actually started both years. I'd contribute my jump from junior year to senior year to James Best himself. We got a lot of workouts in the summer. So he really helped me evaluate my game. I think I became a better 3-point shooter my senior year, a better dribbler. So he definitely pushed me to be the best player I could be.
Yeah, because I see, like I said, you look at it, your rebounds went up, your assists went up, your blocks went up, your steals went up. Even scoring went up, obviously. With all of that, did you just did you train a lot more differently, or did you just stick with the same routine and just kind of build from that?
I mean, he kind of led the way. He was a really good coach. He had a full workout plan on the note cards for me. So right when we got in, we knew what we were doing. We were going to get straight to work, and it was always fun. It was always competitive. Even he'd have his kids there sometimes helping me out, put me through drills. So I definitely shout out to him.
So did his kids play somewhere college wise, or were they older than you or something? So
they were actually younger kids. When I was in high school, they were I'd say they were probably like third, fourth grade. He's got two of them.
Oh, okay.
So they were
So
really
they're
young,
like
but they just
junior,
enjoyed being in the gym and just kind of mimicking what I do and just guarding me a little bit. Not that they can, but it definitely helped at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Distracting me on free throws, little
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Because obviously there's a lot of distractions in the crowd when you're trying to, you know, shoot a free throw or whatever the situation is. Having two kids chase you around, what more of a distraction do you need when you're trying to practice?
no, for sure. And there's some bullies, so
So like when you were, junior year and senior year, did you know what year you were going to determine what college you're going to go to? Like, was there other options at Oswego State? Like, did you know for sure that you wanted to go to Oswego State? Or was there other options you almost went to?
So I wasn't recruited my junior year, and I honestly wasn't recruited heavily my senior year for basketball. I think I was recruited more for football than I was anything, but I decided that I had more of an option in basketball route than football route. I had a couple options, couple Division threes, nothing higher. I had my final three were Oswego, Brockport, Nazareth, and I think Leon was really hard on recruiting me. Came to a lot of football games, showed that he really cared. So it made the decision kind of easy for me.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. Oswego State, they don't have football, right? They have rugby at least.
No, yeah, they don't have football, but they do have rugby.
Have you thought about playing rugby there as well? Like, were they trying to recruit you for that as well, or just basketball?
No, just basketball. Yeah, I mean, rugby's a whole different demeanor.
Yeah, no pads. So it's just
That's a different game right there. It's not for me.
Yeah, that's a lot more like just tackling and grappling and whatever else is going on. It's like
gladiator football.
Yeah, literally. And like, so like, obviously, like you just said, let's go back to where you got a ton of offers for football. Like, so why did you choose, obviously you probably had the options, but why, what was the main reason why you were like, hey, listen, I'm going to go basketball instead of football, even though I probably got a lot more offers for football. Why did you choose basketball over football?
I mean, if you want me to be honest, I think it's based more on my diet. I don't eat a lot of foods. I'm really picky. So I feel like if I went to a higher major Division I or Division II football school, then I would have been on like a meal plan and stuff. And I don't know if I was ready for that at the time. I was still like, I don't know, still trying to grow up, find myself a little bit. And and I just felt like basketball was more of the route for me. It was more fun to play. Practices are more fun. Football practices are just not as fun as basketball practice.
Yeah.
And I'm also not a fan of the cold. So inside the temperature is pretty controlled. So I'd say that.
I hear you on that. It's football. You can't control outside weather.
Yeah, you can't control nothing.
Well, the equipment for basketball is usually cheaper than football too. You just got to buy sneakers and that's really it. Like,
yeah. I mean, they provide you with the gear. I mean, cleats at the end of the day, you probably got to buy. But besides that,
that's a wicked nice deal. So like when you were choosing, obviously for basketball, like was there another school you had in mind other than Oswego, or was Oswego just like set and say like I want to go there, I want to be there? Was there another school?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just was really set in stone on Oswego. I mean, like I said, they recruited me the hardest. They showed the most interest, and I mean, it's a good program. So I thought I could see myself being close to home, only like 35, 40 minutes out. So definitely thought it was a great option for me.
Yeah. And you said the other two options were Brockport and Nazareth. I think that were like trying to recruit you.
Yep.
Have you probably faced both of them or at least one of them since you've been at Oswego? Have you like? I
mean, we face them. Yeah, we face them every year. Brockport's in our league. We face them 2 times a year. Nazareth is Coach Broderick used to play at Oswego, or coach at Oswego. So they have a little thing going on where we play each other each year. So it's definitely a fun gig.
Yep, and I know the Brodericks pretty well. They're both his brother's from Fulton, so that's where I am from. And his nephew plays there right now, Jack Broderick. So, but yeah, they're always a tough competitor. But you guys beat them, or have they beat you, or like how'd you do against them? Pretty much, like did you?
I'm actually 1-3 against Nazareth right now. I beat them my freshman year, and they took the last 2, one at home, one away. So they're definitely a good program. Broderick's a great coach, and shout out to them.
Yeah, and with that being said, like who's the like hardest like team that you think you have faced so far, like through your like college career? Like, is there one college that stands out the most, or
I mean, yeah, last year we went up to Marietta for the Sweet 16, played against them. Their crowd was crazy, 1,600 people. Their guards were good. They had tall, big men, were athletic, could finish around the rim. So I definitely, as a basketball team, I definitely think they were the hardest team we've seen since I've been here.
So you're saying that's like the hardest team. Is that like do they have the hardest guards or hardest people that guarded you, or have you faced someone that's like just right up and pretty much your grill and doesn't let you breathe, pretty much?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I feel like Division III is more team oriented, so it's more of a game plan to like slow down the whole team as a whole. I have great players around me, so it's not like I'm the only guy here doing anything. My point guard's great, shooting guard's top 3 shooter in the country. So we definitely got guys here. So focusing on me wouldn't benefit their team. So I think
it would be the smartest move for them to just focus on you. And I mean, when they don't focus on you, then you score 30 points recently. So that's what happens.
So
so out of like high school and college, like out of those two, like what's your most like memorable moment out of those, like so far? Like with what's everything that's going on, obviously you still got your whole senior year to play, but like out of like high school to college, like could you pick like your favorite moment that you had when you were in either one?
I could say my favorite moment in high school was definitely hit my 1,000 point.
Yep.
Just the energy in the gym, just accomplishing something, knowing my name's going to be up on the wall for a long time, and knowing that whenever people walk in, they're going to see it, and it really means something. So I think that's really my biggest one in high school. I'd say my biggest favorite accomplishment here is probably winning the SUNYACs last year. We had a great group of guys, great team. We actually, the way we played was crazy. We didn't face much adversity, so it was definitely a fun year. And I'd have to say winning the SUNYAC was definitely my favorite so far.
No, that's all, and congratulations to that. That's awesome. I know that's definitely a huge accomplishment. Obviously, like you guys winning something in college, such a high achievement for a team that probably balled out. And I don't pay a lot of attention to like the lower college basketballs or anything like that. But now I'm definitely going to, because now I know somebody to actually look out for and watch. But honestly,
not that far away.
Yeah, and I was looking up, and I saw you had your 1,000 points in high school, and how did it like? I wanted to actually ask you about that game. Like, how did it feel to get that? Like, did they like pause as soon as you hit the 1,000? Did they call a timeout for you? Like, what was that feeling in that game?
Yeah, so I mean, going into the game, I was only like 20 some points away, and the student section had papers on the wall with just the numbers counting down to my basket. And it was also senior night, so
okay,
it made it a little bit more special. And I got my assist from my best friend, so couldn't have ended any better way. But they did stop it after I got a dunk. They stopped it. We met at half court. They gave me a banner. I took a picture with the team. People were throwing balloons and stuff up in the air. It was definitely a good moment. It made me really feel like I accomplished something.
Yeah, it probably felt like real surreal there. Like it didn't feel real at the time, but it could have happened that night.
Yeah, for sure.
When things happen, you just don't know how you're gonna react to it. So like, were you like excited, or were you like a little like emotional from it? Like how'd you feel like when you did do it?
I mean, we were in the middle of a game, so I guess I was happy. I was definitely happy. I'm not gonna say I wasn't, but I mean, had to finish the game, which we ended up losing. So did not think about it much after that.
Yeah, no, I feel you. It's kind of like when Kobe quoted, "The job's not done yet." Like,
yeah,
the series is still to go. So,
but and that game was a big game for us to get into sectionals and stuff. So
yeah,
definitely was the last thing on my mind.
Did you yeah, also in your high school, did you make it to sectionals a lot, or did you guys have to fight your way into sectionals or anything like that?
I mean, so both my years I played, we ended up going to sectionals. We went to the second round both years. One lost to Cavs one year, and then lost to Skinny Allison next. So, I mean, yeah, I think sectionals was a common place for us.
Now, Jordan Elbridge, you guys are like what, Class B or?
We actually just dropped down to Class D, I'm pretty sure. So,
Okay.
but our enrollment's kind of low. So,
Yeah. What was your graduating class, if you don't mind me asking there?
yeah, my class was about 110, 115. So, kind of
So
small.
you guys pretty much knew everyone. Like everyone in town knew everyone pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. Small town.
So earlier in the show you were talking about your numbers and like how you liked wearing the number 21 because your favorite players were Reggie Bush and LaDainian Tomlinson, you said, for football. Is there like a favorite player you have for basketball? Like, is there a player that you kind of try to mimic your game towards, or you kind of just?
I mean, I wouldn't say I mimic my game towards anybody. Everybody has their own way of playing, their own style of basketball. But I do have players I look up to. I do have a favorite player. LeBron James is my favorite player. I know people don't like it, and people are LeBron haters and all types of stuff. And I think LeBron's the GOAT. I think he pushes me to be who I want to be, and that's why I'm wearing number 23 this year.
Nice. So did you wear 23 all of your college career?
No, so my freshman year I wore number 40, which I had last choice because I am a freshman.
Yep.
And my last name's Sparks, so I was kind of down the line, and I didn't mind. I was still playing. I was starting my freshman year, so I mean, a number doesn't really matter. It's just a thing on your back. So
yeah, you just had to ball out and just show your worth.
Yeah.
Eventually, someone wants to wear that number because of Jeremiah Sparks and not like LeBron. Like you want to make them want to wear that number because of you.
Yeah, for sure.
So with like college, like how's the college lifestyle in Oswego? Is it like kind of laid back, kind of party-ish, like, or do you kind of just focus more on the basketball side and getting your work done and everything?
I mean, I think it depends on who you are and what you like to do. I know our coach really harps on our academics, so we have study halls a lot. And I think just focusing mainly at the beginning of the day, you make your own class schedule. I like to get my class done in the morning so I can go to the gym and then I can eat. Usually we have a practice at some point in the day. So I'll go to the gym, eat, practice. And then by the end of the night, it's like homework and sleep. So you kind of repeat the same day over and over again. I feel like it's just really structured around here. So I like that.
And did you say you commute from like Jordan Elbridge or do you live in the dorms there?
No, I lived in the dorms my first 3 years, and now I'm actually off campus housing with a couple of my teammates. So
okay, nice.
Yeah, and you probably like that more, right? Like being
off campus. Definitely your own house.
Yep.
Walk downstairs, go to the kitchen. It's definitely a benefit.
Yeah, because I was one summer I was a custodian at Oswego State, and the dorms I don't know, I'm not big in the dorms in Oswego State, so I feel you on that with the houses being better.
Yeah, I didn't mind the dorms though. I mean, you get to meet a lot of people. It's your first couple of years trying to get the feel for college. I think it's essential for people coming in and just like feeling what like the energy and what college life feels like and stuff. So
yeah, because usually you have your door open and just like people down the hallway, like you all connect and just hang out and stuff. So
you see people walking by all the time, and you're sharing bathrooms and showers and stuff. So
yeah, it's a whole new level from being at home with your parents to being with random strangers that you never met till that day.
No, for sure.
And so obviously this year you guys have played what, like 6 or 7 games, or?
Yep, we're 5-2.
5-2, yep.
1-1 in the conference. 2-1 in the conference.
Nice. So you guys are starting off to a really great start your junior year. Are you obviously you start, and you said you guys have the top 3 best shooting guard or shooter in the league, you said?
Yeah, our shooting guards are very good. He shot 45% from deep last year, something like that.
Oh
Shot
wow.
90% from free throw and 50 from field. So he's a good player.
Pretty much at 90, 40, 50 club.
Yep.
So with all of that, like everything's getting put together, do you think this year is like going to be a very great year for you guys? Like, how do you think this year is going to play out so far with how you guys have had basically a pretty hot start? How do you think the year is going to play out?
I mean, I think we still have a lot of work to do. I feel like we were a better team last year. We were blowing teams out and playing defense. So I think if we can get back on the level we were playing last year and the intensity, I think we could have a really fun year, make a deep run, and enjoy ourselves and accomplish our goals. So
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so go ahead, Curb. Go ahead.
So you said this is your last year academic, right? But you still have one more year of playing basketball there, right?
Yep.
So okay, so you're gonna be done with your what's your major, by the way? We were gonna ask that as well.
My major is criminal justice. My minor is athletic coaching.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Cool. That's awesome.
So you do have like a backup plan. Just like what is your future like plans like after like playing the sport? Do you think you can make it to like the next level, or you think you're more reliant on the criminal justice and the coaching aspect?
I mean, I definitely believe that I can play the next level. It doesn't matter what next level it is. Just my goal is to be a professional player, and I'm going to keep attacking my goal until it's crushed. So.
Yeah, and with your numbers and your stats, it looks like you're definitely going to crush it. Like, I'll be honest with you, I went through all your stats from your freshman year to what your junior year is now. It looks like you've been crushing it. You've been climbing from then till now. What was the difference? Like, obviously, even your freshman year, you started all 27 games. You played all 27 games. Like, what was the difference, though? Was it the team, or was it just something that you changed in your game to, obviously make you become the player you are now 2 years later?
I mean, I think my freshman year, I more came in with the mindset that I want to play. I want to be relevant on the court. So I just kind of had a little dog mentality. I mean, kind of thought about myself a little bit. Could have been, probably a little bit selfish, but at the end of the day, I was a freshman coming in, trying to make my worth. So I think my sophomore year, I think I changed a little bit, trying to be more of a team player, making sure the guys around me feel comfortable playing with me, making sure everybody's getting involved, and also being a leader on the court, because I know we lost a couple guys from my freshman year, and I knew I was an upperclassman. And with COVID, we had to skip a year, so we had more guys, and I was really looked at as upperclassman. So
yeah,
it's definitely a big change, and coaches definitely helped me with that. We talk often. Real personal guy. So however I'm feeling, it's easy for me to just go to his office, talk to him, and let him know what I think about stuff on and off the court, and he lets me know what he thinks, and we kind of just see eye to eye. So that it definitely helps.
Yeah, and obviously I was gonna say with like your sophomore year, you kind of like said basically what I was gonna say. It looks like you switched to point guard to me. Like your assists went up, your everything kind of went to more of like, I'm gonna score when I need to, but I'm gonna also pass the ball when need to. Like your assists like grew like 40. So what was you said it was more of you trying to, obviously being the leader. So you see yourself as obviously as like that main captain role. So have you been like the more of the captain role since your freshman year? Your freshman year, or is it since your sophomore year? Like you see more of the captain?
I probably So I'd say my sophomore year. My freshman year, I was more like not respected, just not really seen. It was definitely a fun year. I learned a lot. We had a great group of guys, and they were coming off a Sweet 16 run, and I was coming in as a freshman, so I kind of didn't really like get the understanding of what it really means to play college basketball and to be on a team. So it kind of hurt us in the end, but I wanted to change that coming into my sophomore year, and that's what I did. And one of my biggest goals was to help my assist to turnover ratio, which I did. And
you did tremendously. And that's what I was going to say also too. You kind of showed that like I'm gonna, calm it down, trust my team more, do what I'm doing, doing better. And obviously, you're even doing that right now. This year, you have 19 assists, 19 assists so far, and only 7 turnovers. That's a great ratio as well right now. So it looks like you're kind of, in that same captain role again.
Yep.
Trying to, get your team to set up. So do you see yourself like, obviously, you obviously they got you as like the small forward right now?
Yep.
Yep. But do you see yourself more as that role where like, hey, I can also bring the ball up and be the one I could be the point guard as well at points?
Yeah. So I mean, I've played all 5 positions this year.
Nice.
I'm just doing whatever the team needs. Honestly, being a team player, playing whatever role is asked of me, and fulfilling that.
Yeah, so to go back to like, you like LeBron James and stuff, it kind of like mimics that where like LeBron is a small forward, but he's a point guard as well, bringing the ball down, passing the ball the most, and he can play any position too. So it kind of like, I'm not saying you play exactly like LeBron. You're a lefty, right?
Yep.
So I mean, LeBron technically is left-handed. I don't know if people know that he's technically
left-handed. Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, so he's technically left-handed, but he does everything right. It's weird, but. So yeah, you got a lot play like him. And I'm a lefty too, so I feel like lefties do shoot the best. But
yes, I love lefties.
But also another thing I see, like you also know how to draw a foul. Like I'm looking at your free throw percentage, and holy, from like you're doing fantastic. Like you're right, especially right now. You're 24 for 32. Your freshman year, you went 79 for 99. Your sophomore year, you're 61 for 86. Like you keep in that range of the 70%, that 70 percentile. Like, is that something you try to work on a lot? So you can obviously, when you draw the foul, you can make those free throws that you get. Is that something you work on a lot in practice with the free throws?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I honestly, I feel like my free throw shooting is poor. Should be better. Yeah, I definitely work on that. Shooting when you're tired, that's what it really is a lot, and just focusing on the rim. And being tired is probably the main factor on free throws. You're in the middle of a game, you drive to the basket hard, get fouled, and now you're at the free throw line, suck and win. So it's about just remaining calm, focus, and knocking down the shot. So I definitely try to work on that when I get in the gym.
Yeah, and going back to that, like practices and all that stuff in high school, college, what's like your favorite drill that you like to actually do that you think has helped your game a lot? And like what drill do you not like to do that you think is either not just a waste of time, but you just don't like doing it at all?
I mean, we post up guards a lot here, so I mean, I guess I'd say my favorite drills aren't probably not the post touches and big man individual workouts. So, and then I really try to work on my pull-up game. So I like working on pull-up jump shots and stuff. So I'd probably say that.
Like mid-range or threes as well.
I mean, mid-range and threes, but majority of pull-ups you're going to shoot at this level is going to be mid-range. And if you're going to shoot a three, it's most likely going to be catch and shoot. So.
Yeah, and every time, so if you guys lose and stuff, do you get is the main thing you have to do is like a bunch of suicides like every time you guys do bad, or is there something else that your coach makes you guys do that learn after your mistakes pretty much?
No, for sure. I mean, a down and back's enough. We throughout practice we're running a lot, we're competing. I feel like what I really like here is that during practice we compete a lot. We're playing up and down. We're challenging each other, whether it's green versus white or we're playing against the starter, or the starters are playing against each other. Like it's always a competition. It's always somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. And I mean, a down and back is not awful for losing. So you got to run it as hard as you can, come back and get ready for the next drill and the next competition. So.
And then also, is there any do you think in the crowd wise, do you think there's any scouts maybe there watching you guys? Do you guys ever get the chance to talk to anybody maybe an NBA scout or an overseas scout? Do you ever get the chance to talk to anybody like that?
No, I don't even bother thinking about it. My goal is our team's goals, and whoever's in the crowd's in the crowd. Hope they enjoy the show. Hopefully we get the win, and I'm going to go back to being a college student at the end of the day. So
Yeah, and that's a great mentality to have, and that's why we like I said, that's why me and Kirby we're doing this every other week where we get a guest, someone who is maybe a professional basketball player, maybe a professional football player, maybe who's in college still playing football or basketball. It doesn't matter the sport. We're just bringing you guys on here so you guys can tell this story to basically give it to kids like, hey, listen, you guys can get to where you guys need to get to as long as you work hard and you follow those dreams and you guys get it done.
No, for sure.
And right before we end and everything, like we just want to know if there's like a message you want to like send out to the kids or anybody watching that is on here. Like, is there a message you want to give to them before we log off or anything like that?
I mean, just chase your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you can't do something. You choose your own path. Whatever you choose, you stick with. You're gonna bumps and bruises. You're gonna learn. Just gotta be gritty. Gotta want it. Gotta believe in yourself for sure. So,
yeah. Again, thank you for coming on here. I know Kirby
thank you for having me.
Knows Jake, and shout out to Jake Pritchard. Thank you for so much for getting us in contact.
My guy, Pritch.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving us this contact. Thanks for Kirby reaching out and finding you. Because like I said, I'll be honest with you. I even told Kirby, I was like, before he introduced you, I was like, I don't really know Jeremiah as much. So I was like, I'm going to do some of my information. Obviously, I do it for everybody. No matter what, I look up your stuff. I look up your stats. It was probably weird, not weird to you, but like, you're probably like, oh man, this guy's like bringing up a bunch of stuff. But it's just one of those things where I just wanted to find out who you were as a person and as a player on the court.
I'm glad you guys were prepared and had great questions, and it was definitely fun. It's my first podcast ever, so
yeah, and I'm
excited for the opportunity.
And I can't wait until next year too. Like when you're, even at the end of the year or something with whatever, Kirby,
Yeah, and I do see your friends, and you shared Nazir's posts and Mike Henry's post too. So you know those guys. You saw
I know them very well. Mike Henry is a great player. I definitely look up to his game. He's a really good player. And Nasir, I mean, I'm 10 minutes from Auburn. I've known him since I was younger, and he's a great football player. And I'm glad he is going to the draft, and I wish him the best of luck. And I really hope he makes it, man.
So of course, I don't know if you watched our other podcasts. We have both of them on, and of course we got you on too. And we're gonna get more people like you guys that have a story to tell that most people might not even know about. So it's good to hear from this as well. I just had one more question before we wrap up too. Since you're in Oswego, have you like been to Calio's or DP Dough? Like, is that one of your favorite spots to maybe eat like late at night?
Okay.
And is there like a favorite maybe bar like Alley Cats or Ferris Wheel, something that you like to go out to maybe?
Okay. I mean, I guess I can share that because I am 21, but
because I love the.
I'm trying to get you in trouble.
I love it.
Yeah, I had to think about that a little bit. Well, I'd probably say my favorite spot out here is Wanzone's. It's a calzone spot. He's got good food. Shout out Jason. He comes to our games. He's a great dude, and I love his business. And as for a bar, I'd have to say Alley Cats. We're cool with the owner. Comes to the games and stuff. So
yeah, because one of my friends, like a lot of us, we do go to Oswego since we all live in Fulton. So he was wondering, what was your favorite bar? Well, he wanted to know what your favorite drink is to get from Alley Cats, but
man, I don't even know. I couldn't even choose if I wanted to.
Yeah. I just go for a vodka Sprite. That's what I go for, a high noon.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah,
keep it real plain, simple, right? Real nice. But again, thank you again, Jeremiah, for taking the time out of your day. It was definitely a pleasure having you on. Like you said, our first three guests have been miraculous. We love it, and like we said, we're going to keep doing this. We've had Mike Henry, we've had Nazir Smith, and now Jeremiah Sparks. They have told you guys their stories. They all come from different paths, but have all made it to the journey that they are all trying to succeed. They're all trying to, get to that. Like you said, it's a lot of grind. It's a lot of nit and gritty, but to get to that end mark where you've been working so hard, it's going to, prove itself. And me and Kirby are definitely going to keep in touch. We're definitely going to try to come make a couple of your games at Oswego for sure, so we can cheer you on because you got new fan. You got me now as a fan for sure. I'll definitely try to.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm right next door, so there's no excuse I can't make it.
Yeah, I'm all the way in Solvay, but it's like a 40-minute drive for me, but it's gonna be worth it. You said you put on a show, so I'm gonna have to come see that show.
Yeah, we're actually in Utica this Christmas. Over Christmas break, we had a Utica tournament. So if you want to pop out to that, you can.
You're playing in Potsdam this coming week, right?
Yeah, we actually travel up to Potsdam Saturday, and then we got Plattsburgh on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
And then we start Christmas break, and then we come back
So
back
a
to
lot of
26. Yeah.
Yeah. So if
Definitely,
anyone wants to
definitely a
know
lot
when
of traveling.
So if anyone wants to know when Jeremiah's playing in Oswego State, you can always look up Oswego State roster schedule, all that stuff to find out.
Yep,
Or
OswegoLakers.com.
yep.
And
Put the
perfect.
plug
Yeah.
in.
And like we said, if we go out to a game, also, maybe we'll go live on our page just so you guys can see the game as well and see Jeremiah put on that show that he's like, talking about, because I got to see the show. I want to see it so bad and see how this goes. I'm excited. And I just want to say thank you again. I'm glad that I got to do this story with you. I'm glad Kirby found a way to get a hold of you so we can do this story. We'll definitely have you back on here. Maybe after the season, once you're, everything's kind of settled down for you and you don't got a lot going on. We'll get back in touch so we can see how your numbers are at the end. And then maybe even next year when you're in your senior year, we can get, something on that as well. This isn't just, you're on here once. This is another like, hey, we got somebody that we can come get on here again. So,
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. I want to thank you for the opportunity again. And lastly, I just want to shout out the Jordan Elbridge community. They helped me get to where I am today, and it is a blessing. And just thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, after the 1,000 point, have you ever like gone back to that school? Like, have you like shown back and like talked to your teachers, talked to like everyone in that community?
Yeah, so I've gone back a couple times. I've gone to a basketball game, gone to a football game. I definitely stay active in the community. I've been there so long that it just feels like home to me. So
yeah, no, that's always a great feeling because there's no place like home. So with having that and just everything that you're doing, like I said, it's great to have that role model for these kids nowadays, especially because they don't really have a lot of things to look at towards or look forward to. So to hear somebody's story saying like, hey, listen, I've been in your shoes before where, hey, it gets a little tough, but we just keep pushing and we grind. So like I said, thank you again for coming out live on the 315. Everybody, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be live again Tuesday. Me and Kirby will be here. It'll be 7:30 like usual. And then we'll have, we'll have another guest hopefully in a couple weeks. So stay tuned to that as well. We're going to definitely try to get a girl on here next. So if you guys know any girls that play college basketball, whatever, any type of college sport, let us know. Softball, whatever it is, let us know. We'll love to have them on. I think it'd be great to have a girl on here. If you know anybody, Jeremiah, you let us know as well.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely will.
It'll definitely be great to have a girl's point of view. We've had 3 guys on the show. Let's try to go the fourth map, like that fourth person. Let's try to make it a girl, everybody. But everybody have a great Wednesday night. If we don't, we'll see you guys Tuesday. So thank you guys for joining live in the 315 with Dom, Kirby, and our guest, Jeremiah Sparks. You guys, everybody have a great night.
Thank you. Have a great night.